Hey there, this is Ryan on episode 14 of No Code, No Problem. Today's episode is brought to you by Adello. Adello is a powerful no-code tool that you can use to build mobile and web apps in minutes. I featured Adello on episode 2 before they were a sponsor. I'd recommend that you check them out at Adello.com. They're blowing up. I'll make sure to have the link in the description, so check them out. They're super, super powerful, and you're missing out if you don't try them. So I wanted to start by wishing everyone a happy holidays. I haven't published any episodes recently because I've been home, spending time with my family and friends, and it's been great, but I'm ready to get back at it. Make sure you get a ticket for our No Code Summit on January 22nd in New York City at Microsoft Office. If you use MakerPad or NewCode, you will get 30% off your ticket, which I think it'd be like maybe $25 or something like that. I forget the exact price with that. But yeah, make sure it's all capital letters like MakerPad, capital MakerPad, or NewCode, same. So it's going to consist of networking and then a live demo with our sponsors, followed by a Q&A. I think networking is very important. I do a lot of networking myself at entrepreneurial events in Pittsburgh and New York. And I think usually, like, whenever you go to events like this, they have panel speakers, but I think doing a live demo of the products is going to be really cool. So far, we have 4 slots open. We have filled 2 with Bubble and Adello, so they will be 2 of the sponsors that will be live demoing their products. And yeah, so if you're interested in one of the other 2 spots, send me an email, reach out to me on Twitter, we can make it happen. So I had mentioned a while ago the community project. I haven't discussed it in a while, but the community project will be revealed. I've been working on basically a unique flight finder. And traditionally, when you're scheduling a flight, you put where you're flying from and then where you're flying to, along with the dates, and then it'll show you all the search results. But I wanted to build a web app for the adventurous on a budget. So unlike traditional flight search tools, you put where you're flying out of and then the dates you want to fly, and then it'll tell you the cheapest places to fly during that time period. So I'm working on that. I'm trying to find a flight API that lets me do that right now. We got one set up, and then it didn't end up allowing me to do that, so I was kind of ticked, but whatever. So I'd like to give a shout out to Noel, the founder of No Code HQ. He has been an incredible help with the process, and I wouldn't be where I'm at without his guidance. And I actually used one of his courses, so I bought it for $4.99, I believe, or $5. So very well worth the money. He does a great job explaining things, and make sure you check out No Code HQ. So today's focus for the episode, I want it to be kind of around websites. So I've been thinking about building websites and web applications using different tools, and I wondered if people really care like what they use to build websites and like what the preference is. So I took a Twitter survey, and 83% of people said that they prefer to build websites with their laptop. It didn't really surprise me because this is how I feel. And there's this hype around building websites on like an iPad or a phone, or like the iPhone, and that's great. But I think that it's going to come down, or if it's going to come at the expense of like quality, it doesn't make sense in my mind. So an argument for me would be that you're trying to build, say, the most convenient website builder. But for me, like, it's more convenient just to build a website on my laptop because it makes sense and you can see it in all the different visual aspects. And it's just a large screen and everything's laid out. You have space, you have room, and it's just easier. But On Universe is doing a great job of building out a site builder on the iPhone. They are the only one that I know of that you can build websites only from your phone. So they're unique in their own way. And I don't think they're doing a bad job, but I think that maybe focusing on one platform, like, I don't think the focus should be on just building websites on one device, because ultimately people aren't just going to build websites because they can. Like, I'm not going to pay $20 to build a website on my phone just to build a website on my phone. And I think that people care more about the limits that they face while building the site. So that's just some thoughts. But with that being said, we have site builders for the web like Wix, Webflow, Bubble, Card, Squarespace, GoDaddy, Weebly, Shopify. There's, a bunch of them. And there's many others like them. And with these, there seems to be a community consensus that Webflow leads with design and Bubble for functionality, which still enamors me because, like Wix, I think Wix has 120 million users with, I think it's like 4 or 5 million paying customers, which is just insane. Because, like, I've used Wix all my life, and now that I found these other tools, like, I would never go back to using Wix. Because if I'm online and I'm searching through the web and I click on a site, 95% chance I can tell if it was built on Wix or not. But if the same does not go for Webflow or even for Bubble, really, because they're you can build really quality, aesthetic, functionable sites on these platforms. But for my listeners, are you guys looking for a new solution? Like, would you be excited for a new site builder? What is on your must-have list? What is on your shit list? I'm currently talking with a few guys, and we might be building a new site builder with the vision of every site on the web being built without code, like per se without code, I'm sure you've all read the article about it just being another abstract layer, which I agree with, but per se without code. So we already started it, and there's obviously a proven market for a product, as we can see through the number of tools already available and the hundreds of millions of people that use these tools. But we have two unique goals that we could kind of build our aim at. And the two possible goals, one of them being combining Webflow's design capabilities with Bubble's functionality and building almost the king of web app builders. Or perhaps a simple aesthetic site / landing page builder that's cheap. Really easy, basically zero learning curve is what we're aiming for. So my question too is, which would you rather see? Which goal would you rather see us attack? And let me know what you think. And if you're interested in being involved in any capacity, let me know for sure. But I think there's still room for a site builder for either, or I mean, both goals I think there's room for. So I think there's definitely, because I've heard designers say, I love Bubble and the functionality behind it and the simplicity behind creating these complex functions, but they stray away from it just because of the design capabilities of Webflow. So if you could combine the two, it's the product to beat. So I think there's a really, really good market for that. And then I also think that there's a market for a simple aesthetic site landing page builder that's cheap. The example of that would be Card then. He does a really good job of that, and I think that, but I still think that there's room, and to my knowledge, like, AJ does not promote Card whatsoever. I mean, he'll promote it, but there's no advertising, there's no company budget, there's nothing. Card could easily be worth 5 times what it is today, and he could be 5 times the size in the next year if he like attacked it hard. So I think that if we built something of that magnitude and as powerful and as aesthetic and better than Card, and we actually attacked the market, we could build a site way better and way bigger, and a competitor for all these other ones. So let me know. I'm gonna actually take a Twitter poll, but all the companies that I talked about, I'll put in the link in the description. So I hope you all had a great holiday. I appreciate you for listening to No Code, No Problem, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. So I'll see you next time, and have a great holiday and a great New Year's Eve.